Namaskar, welcome to UPSC classes. There are several UPSC classes, UPSC exams, special exams in which syllabus varies. But mainly we have seen in UPSC mains exam, you have to choose certain subjects, and these may be one of the subjects. So number one, it's very important for UPSC mains exam. Number two, it is very useful for prelims also because so many GK type informations are available here. And number three, whenever UPSC goes for some special recruitments like ESIC, Deputy Director recruitment, EPFO, Enforcement Officer recruitment, EPFO, Commissioners recruitment. So, like the Labor Commissioner recruitment. So, whenever UPSC goes for special recruitments, generally these special papers are there. English, numerical ability and logical reasoning, science, fundamental of computer. These all are the basic. Freedom movement and Indian Union, basic. Current events and international importance, basic. RTI, basic. What is a specific? Principle of human resource management, principle of marketing management, principle of accounting and financial management. So these are the different syllabus chosen by UPSC, and we have experienced that candidates face much more problem with this specific syllabus, specific books, and these books makes the things mar or go. They are the deciding factor in merit list. So from today onwards, these special classes will be taken one by one for each and every subjects. So today onwards, we are starting principle of human resource management, principle of management, administrative law, and accountancy. These all classes have already been taken and it has been put into the UPSC folder. You can refer them. We will start principle of human resource management. So while studying the principle of management, we have seen that principle of management is having several functions. Diversified functions are there. HR function is one of them. Principle of management is having several diversified functions. Principle of management functions are universal in nature. HR function is one of them. So here we are concentrated on human resource management concept. These classes are going to be very useful for MBA students, BBA students, UPSC student, even those who are appearing in BPSC as a management books paper. For them also it's very important. DD, Deputy Director, ESIC, EPFO, like that. Different exams are there, and in all these exams, these are going to be very important aspects. So, in today's lecture, we'll be discussing on human resource management, introduction, definition, nature, scope, and objectives. So, let us see one by one. What happens? Business entity, we call them as an organization. So, business entity is made up of four M's. Business entity organizations are made up of four M's. These are main, material, money, machinery. I repeat, main, material, money, machinery. There are four M's in running any business organization. In these four M's, only first one, that is main, that main is only living one. Remaining three are non-living. So main is the living resource which makes this all three running. So main puts life into the organization. Main is very important, and that is why main is regarded as human resource. Yes, human resource. Man is regarded as human resource, and human resources are heterogeneous in nature. When we say the terminology heterogeneous in nature, that means one man varies from other man. That other another man varies from other man. Hardly two persons are equal. Otherwise, one person varies from other person. They differ from other person in what manners? In personality, perception, emotions, values, attitude, motives, and modes of thoughts. These are the things which differentiate the persons and which makes the person heterogeneous. Homogeneous means same time. Heterogeneous means different time. So their behavior to stimuli is often inconsistent and unpredictable. Human behavior is unpredictable. Machine behavior is predictable. While other resources depreciate, in accountancy we have seen depreciation. So while other resources depreciate with the passage of time, human resource appreciate with the passage of time. The value of human resource increases from time with the passage of the time. That is most important thing of human resource. When we go for the definition of human resource management, first we have to understand definition of human resource. When we understand what is human resource, then we can shift to understand what is human resource management. So human resources are knowledge, skill, creativity, ability, talent, attitude obtained in the population, whereas from the viewpoint of individual enterprises, they represent the total of inherent abilities, acquired knowledge, and skills. So three things are there. Inherent abilities are there with us, acquired knowledge are with us, and skills we are getting. So what happens? Human has been classified as human capital, and human capital has been classified into three categories. Human is treated as human capital, and human capital has been classified into three categories. Number one is intellectual capital, number two is social capital, number three is emotional capital. Yes, human is emotional capital, human is social capital, and of course human is intellectual capital. So now from the above it is clear that human resources refer to the qualitative and quantitative aspect of employees working in an organization. So when human resources are related to organization, it refers to the qualitative as well as quantitative aspects of employees. So from this, human resource management can be defined as a process of procuring, developing, maintaining competent human resources in the organization so that the goal of the organizations are achieved in an effective and efficient manner. In short, HRM is an art of managing people at work in such a manner that they give their best to the organization. So this is the definition of HRM. So HRM is an art, human resource management. When we talk about the department, it's human resource management. When we talk about the person or authority, human resource manager. So human resource manager is a person. Human resource management is a department. So human resource management is an art of managing people at work in such a manner so that they give their best to the organization. That is what is required in the organization. In organization, all employees, all management, they function towards the achievement of the organizational goal. Now, there are certain natures of the human resource management. So what they are? Human resource management involves certain management functions. These all management functions we have seen in principle of management also. They are planning, organizing, directing, controlling, like this. It involves procurement, development, maintenance, and management of human resources. Here, procurement means recruitment and selection. Development means training and development. Maintenance means remuneration. Management of human resources means providing other resources to them, to taking care of them. It helps to achieve individual, organizational, and social objectives. Of course, whenever they are employed, first of all, employees' goal will be certain employees' goal will be there that has to be achieved. Certain organizational goals are there that has to be achieved, and certainly certain social goals are also there, they are also fulfilled. HRM is a multidiscipline subject. It includes all the studies of management, psychology, communication, economics, and psychology. Since HRM is related to human related aspects, human behaviors, HRM deals with the human behavior, human aspects. So it has to be multidiscipline. It involves team spirit and teamwork. Organization has to work in a team. If team is not together, then it is difficult to achieve the organizational goal. So that is why HRM involves team spirit and teamwork, and it is the duty of the HRM to create team job, to create team spirit among the people. So when we are emphasizing such things on HRM study, we must know what is the scope of HRM study. These all are various scopes of HRM study. In short, we can say HRM deals with manpower planning, recruitment and selection, training and development, performance appraisal, employee motivation, remuneration of employees, social security, and employee welfare. These all are the scope of HRM. The scope of HRM is very vast. These are only heads. These are certain subheads. Manpower or human resource planning, recruitment selection, induction, job analysis, performance appraisal, training development, job rotation, career, compensation, reward, health safety, industrial relation, statutory compliance of labor legislation. These all are certain scope of HRM. We have to understand this is our syllabus. The scope of HRM is syllabus of HRM. So we have to understand in due course, one by one, each one of these in detail. Here, when somebody asks a scope of the HRM, just note down this one. These are the scope of HRM. If you cannot memorize this one, no problem. You memorize this one. It is very easy. I will give you one clue. When you are going for your duty, you just imagine how you have come. That department has some manpower planning. That yes, in 2023, I mean these many persons will be retiring, and this many new branches will be opening. Say example, 10 persons are retiring and 10 and 15 branches, new branches are opening. So 10 plus 15, 25. So next year I need 25 more officers. This is manpower planning. Thereafter, recruitment and selection process starts. After recruitment, training and development comes. Without training, it's difficult to take job from the students or new entrants. Then whatever job they are doing, their job assessment is very much important. That is going to motivate them also, and that is going to compel them also to do the things in a better manner. Then employee motivation. Motivation is most important thing. We have seen in principle of management, need motivates the people. So either he is needy, that his need will compel, Otherwise, you make him needy. You show him such a dream that motivates him and then get the job done from him. Then remuneration of employees. Remuneration of employees has to be at par with his requirement and social status so that he can put his head on in his own society. Then social security and employee welfare aspects are also there that will take care. So basically, the scope of HRM is indeed very vast and wide. It includes all activities starting from manpower planning till employee leaves the organization. Accordingly, the scope of HRM consists of acquisition, means recruitment, development, means training, maintenance retention, means giving benefits, and control of human resources in the organization. The same has been put here in a diagrammic form. Some control mechanism is there, some acquisition is there, some development is there, some maintenance is there. These all are the repetitive things in nature. We have seen it, and these all are the chapters. We'll be dealing one by one in these chapters. So when this personal National Institute of Personal Management Calcutta has specified certain scope of management. These are the labor or personal space. Whenever some leave, transfer, promotion, etc. is related, it is that HRM that HRM job given to personal manager. There is here I have given diagram. HRM is further divided into three parts. HR manager is having three subordinates: personal manager, welfare officer, and industrial relation officer. So the duty given is induction, retrenchment, compensation, morale is personal management. Crange, canteen, first aid, lunchroom, this is a welfare aspect. And consultation, dispute settlement, this is the industrial relation aspect. So that is it. That is why it is told that it is a very wide scope area. So it has certain objectives, and the basic primary objective is to ensure the availability of right people for the right job at right time. The primary objective of HRM is to make the availability of right person at right job at right time. This synchronization of these three rights are very important. Otherwise, things will not go in the desired manner. Further, this primary things is further divided into some subheads, and that is helps the organization to achieve its organizational goal, utilize the available human resource effectively, increase the employees' job satisfaction, develop and maintain quality of work life, help and maintain ethical policies, establish and maintain cordial relations, and reconcile individual group goals with organizational goals. That is most important. We have seen that when we go to organization, organizational goal and individual goal, two goals are there. They should not clash. In organizational goal should always has priority over the personal goal. Then only organizational goal can be achieved. While grouping this objective of the HRM, this societal objective, organizational objective, functional objective, personal objective. So these objectives are further divided into legal compliance, benefit, union management. These are the supportive functions of the HRM. We will be studying one by one as a chapter. So this is all about the introduction, meaning, definition, nature, scope, and objective of HR manager. Now, in the next session, we will be dealing with the functions of HR. Till then, namaskar.